once again, welcome inside of the mid-morning buzz here on the K105.5 and GBN TV. We're not live via GBN TV. Just settle in just a wee bit. I did promise you that we do have, of course, an interview this morning inside of the mid-morning buzz. Welcome. Let me say good morning to our social media audience this morning. Those of you via our Facebook page, good morning and welcome. Those of you viewing via YouTube channel, also welcome. And certainly nice to have you being part of the mid-morning buzz. And those of you who are viewing and listening also via GBN webpage, that's gbn.gd, welcome. This morning we do have going to be chatting with, of course, the Grenada Boxing Association Incorporated, and we do have Mr. Davis Adams with us this morning. And let me just go over to him and say good morning. Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning, GT. I'm fine, and it's really looking beautiful outside there. Good morning to all the viewers and listeners of GBN Radio and TV. Just a pleasure to have you and to be part of your big family.
All right, man. Well, welcome to the Mid-Morning Buzz this morning. And you know, our topic of discussion this morning is boxing, but one of my favorite sports. Never had the opportunity to participate, but I just like to see when going out to a boxing, and see those guys, throw those punches against each other. I remember from back in the day, you're going out to the old Queen's Park. And then, we used to have those tournaments there. We're talking about the late Trevor Twait and all of these guys.
Of course,
and it used to be exciting times. times. The fun of it. You understand?
Yes, it is a lot of fun.
But folks would say boxing in Grenada has dwindled down a wee bit over the years. What's your take on that?
Yes, it's kind of true that boxing has taken a little downward spiral. As with everything, there's always the ups and downs. So it's not unusual for any sport to have its peak and its drop. Mm-hmm. So I am not really upset over it, but of course we want to always keep it very often as much as possible on the high.
All right.
So that's the thinking that we should all have for our sport. And I think we are at the point where we're trying to get it back to the apex of its performance and to go beyond what we used to do in the past in terms of our successes that we would have had. So we're trying to get back there, and it's going to take a lot, but we are willing to put our backs to the grind mill and to make sure that boxing gets the due, not just respect, but all of the things that's due to it to ensure that our males and females, can explore the potential that they have in boxing.
Recently you have taken up the mantle as being the chairman of the organization. How does it feel for you now, getting at that particular level of the being part of it? How is that for you?
It is tough. It's a different feel, of course, when you have to be what you might say charting the way forward for anything. So whether it is in sport, whether it is in a volunteer group, a service group, once you are at the helm charting the way forward, it's always tough because you have to cast vision. And then you have to hope that everyone would be able to understand that sometimes they may not see totally, but they have to trust, the process and come along and try to make it happen. But that's the role of all leaders, and I'm prepared for that. And so whatever it takes to get boxing and to get to lead people to bring back boxing to where it belongs, I am prepared to do that.
All right. Now, our main objective this morning in our discussion is all about the activities that you have coming up, all being part of, Grenada's independence, 2023, 49 years as an independent nation. There's a couple of boxing, of course, activities coming up. Give us some information about that and, how's the preparation going so far, the objectives behind it and so forth. Let's feed me some information this morning.
Okay, the truth of the matter is, because as you would have noted, boxing has been on the down that little bit, yes? And our plan, our desire is to, first of all, collaborate with all stakeholders, all entities, everybody, from government right down to volunteer groups, as to what we can do to bring back boxing to, a state of respectability. So the idea is to collaborate along and among every group, every sporting organization to bring back boxing. So that's the first and foremost. Secondly, it's Grenada's independence. And because, as you would have intimated, people have that love for boxing, we thought it might be a good thing to allow it to become part of the independence celebration. Give somebody something to see, to enjoy, to have fun, to maybe have a laugh, but also to be able to appreciate what boxers do to get to that point where they can perform at the best. Yes, and to say they can spot talent, they can see potential, they can say that one will go far, and we use them now to push organizations, push our government to say, hey, what are you doing for boxing? How can you help the sport move forward? And the third thing is to, at the same time, to inspire grassroots interest once again. Because as you would have intimated again, we have been done for a while, and people would have said, maybe they're wasting time, boxing ain't going nowhere again, maybe just like West Indies cricket. And we want to kind of buck that and say, well, not really. We're different. We're Grenadians. We're proud. So to inspire grassroots interest in boxing. And once we can do that, I believe using the independence celebration as part of that conduit, I think we would have achieved quite a lot. There's so much in store. We have so much in store for boxers. There's so much potential to be able to go there and to earn a living and to make a name for themselves. I think we have just begun to scratch the surface. But it will take a collaborative approach coming together of everyone to do that.
Now, there's this competition that is coming up. If I could call it a competition, is it just a friendly bout that is coming up in the next couple of days? Tell us about that.
Well, Saturday the 4th at the Grenada Youth Center. That's where we're going to be getting ready as, the professional thing would say, get ready to rumble. Mm-hmm. So that's at the Grenada Youth Center starting at around 6:30 in the evening. Although it says 8 on the ad, but it's actually 6:30 that we are going to start. We're going to open the gates so that folks can come and sit down and start relaxing as we prepare. We have boxers coming from Carriacou. We have boxers from Grenada. And we just want all the boxers who are training and have not had an avenue for a bit of what they're training for. Because when you train for something, you want to be able to do it.
And so especially and showcase that talent, if you want to see it, to put it in that way. Excellent,
GT. You said it better than I have. Showcase the talent that you have. So we want all boxers, and there's no bias. Everyone who can box who have been training and they want to be part. We already have a core group, but we want as many people as possible who have been training to come out and say, I want to be part of that. What's the weight category you have? I can be there. We just want to have a wonderful time, and we invited everybody from Prime Minister right down to folks in Grenada. We invited them to come around and to show their support for the boxing and to get boxing in Grenada up and running. So that's at the Youth Center this Saturday, part of the 49th anniversary of independence celebration. And we believe it's a good way, again, to celebrate Grenada as we enter our 50th year of independence and maturity.
Tell me, what are some of the weights standing that you have, so we could look forward to kind of about something from the heaviest to the lowest weight stand? What is it? Let me see.
Well, we have the super heavyweight, and that is over 200 pounds by quite a bit. Right. Any weight above 200 pounds, we have the super heavyweight.
All right.
We have the heavyweight, we have the light heavyweight, we have the featherweight, we have the light welter, and those are some of the weights we have. So once you fall within one of those weight categories, I'm not telling you, GT, to come and box, of course, because if you have not been training for that, I will not advise.
Well, probably this could be where the audience have a little opportunity. You never know. I'm just joking with that one there.
Yes. And of course, we're trying to go beyond just by inspiring that interest to be able to go to the schools, to be able to go to communities, to be able to establish gyms. As a matter of fact, just speaking about establishing gyms, we are trying our best to establish collaboration and cooperation with outside entities, people who are interested in boxing, past Grenadians who have boxed in the past, and they want to come back to Grenada to give to the sport. We have made a couple of links with a few of them, and we just want to be able to show them that we are serious, that we want to establish gyms in St. Andrew, in St. Patrick, in Carriacou, that's doing well, St. George. So we already have those initial discussions with a number of those diaspora past boxers and coaches, and we want to do that for them also so that they can see it and realize that coming back to Grenada and investing in the Grenadian people, in what they are good at, it's a really good investment. So we have that in the train coming.
All right. Now tell me, What is the future outlook for boxing in Grenada from you being the chairman now? I mean, what are some of the aspirations that you have? What do you want to see? Where do you want to see boxing go in Grenada? Let's say, I mean, I'm giving you a close margin. The next 10 years, if it's possible, and you're still in the realm of being the the chairperson, where would you like to see boxing be in Grenada in terms of getting it back to those glory days, if it's possible to happen again?
Okay, if I were to speak, and some of those are big, they're really big. I would start with first Grenada, through Ministry of Sport, through our legislative body, first of all, being able to have a boxing regulatory body, because we're not just amateurs, and we don't just want to stay as amateur, we want to go professional also. So I believe one of the big ticket items would to have a boxing regulatory body. And if we could have that boxing regulatory body, it helps to be able to regulate and to see what's happening and to put structures in place to make the sport safe, to make the sport easily accessible, and to whatever we're doing, it is done in such a way that it is, it is well controlled. So that's one. Secondly, if I were to be around for the next 10 years, I want to see gyms established in every parish, every single parish, because I know, and contact sport is one of the sports that people love a lot, whether it's American football, whether it's karate, taekwondo, and for me, boxing remains at the top of those. Every parish should have a boxing gym, because one of the things that we know about boxing is not just the fact that you want to be in the sport to box seriously, but it is good for health purposes. That is your aerobics, your exercise, So women are there. A lot of women want to exercise. They want to be able to pump a bag. And when you are stressed out, you can take it out on a boxing bag, on a speed ball. You go inside there and you sweat it out. So boxing can do a lot, not just for the body, but for the mind. And of course, if you want to take it further, for those who has that talent, they could now become professional and be able to earn a living from it. So within the next 10 years for me, of course, regulatory body, gyms throughout the island, certified coaches, as many as we can get as possible, using all the international organizations that we have, like the Olympic Committee, international boxing committees, and so on, certified coaches that every parish has. And of course, again, big ticket, bringing it to the schools in a safe way. I'm a principal. And if I had space at my primary school, I would have tried to introduce boxing at my primary school and start giving students a foundation for the sport, so that they would know when they get to older age, they have an opportunity to choose what they think is best for them. Boxing, football, athletics, taekwondo, karate, you name it. So going to the schools and giving students that opportunity. And what's important about the schools is that sometimes you have students who are stressed out, who are their minds are not well because of what's happening, and they have no way to take out that feeling of frustration or what they're happening. And if you can get them in a gym and you can get them on a boxing bag, they can use that to get rid of all of the negative emotions that they have. Right. Boxing is really a sport that you can use in any situation, emotionally, physically, and of course for a living.
Now tell me, in terms of the recruitment drive, is there any plans, for your organization to think about going around the island and getting that recruitment drive to get or to build an interest? Is there any program that you will be implementing soon that would create the avenue where individuals will want to come and be part of the organization in terms of recruitment in learning boxing from you mentioned the schools, but there are a lot of young men out there who just sit on the block who never know how their talent could be developed in some way or the other. Is there any plans for that in the near future?
Yeah, actually, that is the foundation of what we want to do as an association. But we don't want to be as an island. We want it to be a collaborative approach. Bring everyone together for that purpose. Listen, our main goal is to bring everyone together for that purpose with our organizations, our ministries, everybody. Once we can bring everybody on the same page for that purpose, that is the ideal, that's the goal, that is the utopia, that's the apex of what we want to do. So collaboration. So I am calling everyone who has an interest in boxing to let us come together and let's get this thing done. Get it out of the way. Let's get rid of all of the bickering that we would have had in the past and let's just work together. Grenada is a small island. Let's just work together to get the sport at where it is supposed to be. I just want to relate some experiences I would have had in a short way. When boxing traveled in the 80s and in the 90s, and to a greater extent in the 2000s, with any sport in any games, if there's one thing you know is that boxers will represent Grenada well, win a medal. Even before you'd say athletics would win a medal, boxing would in some way win a medal. But you find that athletics have left us behind, swimming has left us behind. And there must be a reason that has happened. So I think we need to come together as a society, as a nation, as organizations to regulate and get this sport back to where it belongs.
I certainly
agree. Need everybody. We need everybody on board.
I certainly agree with you there, because doing it on a self-way, self-led purpose doesn't always get you the opportunities that's available out there. So if the collaboration is a key in terms of getting the sport to get back to its glory days. So once again, I want you to throw that final pitch out there to all Grenadians. Give them that bit of encouragement to come on out the Saturday at the youth. Is it the youth center, right?
At the youth center, yes.
And encourage them. I'm giving you that opportunity now to make that last pitch there and encourage them to come on out and support boxing at its best this coming weekend. Tell us about it again.
Once again, as part of 49th anniversary of independence, it's indeed a wonderful time to have boxing taking place to spur that interest back in the sport. Once we can do that, I think we'd have achieved our objective, and we want to thank the Independence Celebrations Committee for agreeing with us to try and do that, because again, it's not a selfish activity. It's more an activity to spread the sport throughout the Grenada, pick up interest. So I want to thank the Independence Celebration Committee for agreeing with us. And of course, we hope that it will be used as a springboard to bring collaboration throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique for everyone, so that we can get the sport up and running. So I'm inviting all Grenadians, as I said, from the Prime Minister down, because I know he loves sport. He was going basketball. If I'm not mistaken, I've heard him say he likes boxing too. So we want him to come. We want our Minister of Sport to come. We want the parliamentary rep in the South to come. Everyone come and be part of that encouragement, so that the sport can begin to take its rightful place in Grenada once again.
All right, Mr. David Evans, I want to thank you a whole lot for being with us this morning and sharing the information you did. Certainly was fruitful information. Certainly will bring some encouragement for all our viewers and listeners out there who are lovers of the sport themselves will come out. I'm certainly going to be there because, as I mentioned, I like to see when guys go out and do those bouts and do their thing. I certainly like to see that. So you certainly will see me there also. Thank you once again for being part of the Morning Buzz. And I wish you all the best.
I just want to say one thing before you go.
Yeah.
Just this week, I had a discussion with a diaspora coach from England, a Grenadian. And again, this is not for me. And he was so happy that there is something taking place, because he wants to come back and to invest in boxing in Grenada. Those are the opportunities that are available to us. So we want to get our sport together, get everybody together, so that we can give our diaspora that kind of opportunity and encouragement to come back and invest in the country. So let's make that independence boxing a success.
Great. Thanks once again, Mr. Davis Adams. Thank you so much for being part of the Morning Buzz. Certainly, I wish you all the best for the day.
You are welcome. Thanks for having me. And I hope that our Grenadian, the GBN family would have listened, and we'll bring out many of them.
All right.
It's only $10, by the way.
All right. Thank you so much. All the best.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right. Folks, that's where we wrap up the Mid-Morning Bus, this segment for this morning. Thanks for those of you who were part of it and viewed. And certainly hope you go out and witness the boxing activity at the Youth Center this coming weekend. All the best, folks. That's where let's take a wrap for the Mid-Morning Bus segment. Have a good one, folks. Stay with us here on Classic 105.